YouTuber! One of the most defining traits of this century has been people's gravitation towards wanting to make content and be recognized for doing so. Everyone has a different reason for why they get into it, and every creator has their own story as to why they do it. Some do it for attention, some do it for money, some do it because it's passionate, some do it for no other reason but to just make things and put it out there even if they think no one's ever gonna watch. As for me, I thought I would come on here and just give you guys my perspective of why I love being a YouTuber and just why I love YouTube as a whole. So I'm 22 years old, I'm almost 23, and much like everyone else, the most defining moments and things that sort of shaped me into who I was came in the last parts of the single digits and into my teens. And so the late 2000s going into the 2010s were the things that really shaped a lot of my hyperfixations, my interests, and just everything that I enjoyed. Going into my teenage years, I was more of an introverted person just as a whole, which is really funny because almost all of the work that I do, which is pretty much online, it all kind of revolves around being able to communicate with people efficiently, talk to people, and perform for people. I grew up in the middle of nowhere, West Virginia, and I always had a lot of interests that were very different from most people. The things that I enjoyed were very idiosyncratic, they were very niche, and as a result of that, I kind of developed a personality to shadow and mimic myself towards other people, and in a way have them terraform me into clay, because I was so much more acclimated with listening to someone else and involving myself and engaging with someone else, because whenever I tried to do so with myself, it just wouldn't lead anywhere because it was always so difficult to find people that had mutual interest for me. And throughout my teen years, I did turn to a lot of stuff in terms of escapism to sort of have that outlet for positivity. I should also say that my overall goal throughout my entire life is to be an author. I've always been obsessed with literature and poeticism, storytelling, and from the ripe age of like 5 or 6, I was not only reading at a college level, I would sit in a big leather chair with a pen and a tablet and go through them like they were going out of style, writing hundreds upon hundreds of pages of novels and short stories and poetry things when I was like 12 and 13 and 14. Ever since I was young, I've never really been able to explain it to anyone properly because nothing necessarily pushed me in that direction more than anything else, but ever since I was young, I definitely had that push to not only create things, but share said things that I created. There was something that gave me a lot of serotonin about that, and it was always something that not only felt gratifying and satisfying, but it felt mandatory. And if I didn't have something that I was creating, that I was putting my passion into, that I was trying to filter through my creativity into, I always felt like there was something missing in my life, like something was void and didn't mean as much, and nothing could fill that void because that missing piece of me was so arbitrary that it was necessary. I absolutely adored playing video games, and I was a major Nintendo freak and World of Warcraft fan, but it wasn't until I started to develop my sort of fascination with YouTube that it forged me into a lot of the things and the person that I am today. The creators that I grew an affinity for not only made me just so happy to watch, but the fact that literally anyone with just a webcam and a shitty microphone or a gaming headset could sit in their bedroom or sit in an office and make these videos that hundreds upon thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, potentially even millions of people were seeing and commenting on and liking and engaging with. It was otherworldly to me. And when I was younger, I would literally make up these scenarios in my head sometimes. If I was, playing by myself, or when I was by myself, I would pretend that I was recording for an audience. So much so that when I would play like video games when I was like 10, 11, 12, even before I really knew what the concept of a let's play was, I knew they existed, but I was too young to really know exactly what that meant. I was acting like I was giving a commentary about the game I was playing and talking as if there were people listening. And I know that sounds a little fucking crazy and schizophrenic, but I promise it was always for the intention of feeling like I was sharing what I was doing with other people, because having a voice always meant so much to me, and I always felt like I had so much in me that was bursting and wanting to be brought out of me in some way in a passionate format. And then in 2017, I had a very nasty leg injury that knocked me on my ass for a bit, and I was in a lot of pain. I couldn't sleep well. I was having a lot of difficult times. I had too much time on my hands, and it was around this time that me and my best friend at the time literally pretty much launched my channel, and we were doing a ton of random sort of content, but it felt incredible. I discovered what OBS was, and I literally just started to film with a really shitty like laptop camera and a like $20 Walmart gaming headset. That was my setup. It was so grainy and crunchy. It was unedited. There wasn't an intro. There wasn't music. I had no presence. It was literally just that. And no one watched it. No one watched my videos for literally like a year and a half, but I was making them regardless. And I should say that in my mid-teens, that's when I really started to grow an affinity for rock and metal. When I was in my early teens, I was listening to it, and a lot of the gateway bands that led me into it were sort of taking their foundation. But it wasn't until I started to discover some of these channels like, Cover Killer Nation, Brain Smasher, Runner JMA, Wyatt XM, Vital Vinyl Vlog, that I really fell in love with music coverage and people sharing their opinions about music, because I knew that I always felt that as well. And it always felt like there was sort of this void in the niche where you weren't really seeing storytellers, people that sat down and in some sort of format made things that felt like a story and played out like almost a video essay or a movie or a TV show where it was episodic and you dived into something that intrigued you or fascinated you. And when I started to do album reviews and track reviews, that is what I tried to sort of filter my passion through. I didn't always just talk about the finer details of the technicality or the music. I would talk about the emotional aspects of it, how it would make the listener feel, the context of it. I tried to give more feelings towards like the lyricism and shine more of a light on the intricacies of what created that album and what made that artist inspired to make that. And I was always addicted to the storytelling. And then throughout time, I just became so enamored with content making. One of my favorite stories I like to tell is back when literally no one watched me. I had like less than 100 subscribers. I had something that I wanted to do called List Week, which pretty much still carries over now, where I just wanted to make lists about albums or just some sort of like interesting thing that I was interested in. And I promised myself that I was going to do it for 7 days straight. I think the maximum views one of those got was like 10 or 15. And I literally pulled multiple all-nighters editing these 20 and 30-minute long videos and putting them out there because I was so passionate about them, even though no one was watching. I wasn't doing it for any sort of monetary gain or some sort of ending goal, and I can honestly say that the friends that I had at the time, they didn't really care about it. They didn't listen to what I was doing or listen to what I had to say, and I don't think deep down they really believed that I could be a YouTuber or be a content creator, because all of them were content creators as well on YouTube and specifically Twitch, and not in the no offense to them, but they genuinely never got any traction whatsoever. And then over time, it just clicked. I always adored doing YouTube, but after a while, I started to gain more momentum. And around 2021, 2022 is when I really started to pick up speed on this platform to where we're now sitting well over 1 million views, 10,000 subscribers, and in this niche that is fucking incredible to me. And there is something to be said about the format of YouTube that draws me to it always. It has been a place to revolutionize ideas, or at least put your own spin on it, and it shows that anyone can make anything that they are passionate about, and there will be an audience for it. You just have to keep pushing and find that. And for me, along the way, when I started to realize that I could do video essays, and I could do these long-form video essays and videos that would deep dive into things that I found interesting, and not only would they be successful, they would be my most successful videos, showed me that if you are truly passionate about what you love and you put your creative spin on it and you put your everything and your heart into it, it's going to pay off in the end. Because I've dealt with a lot of shit in this niche, I have thick skin, I've dealt with a lot of backlash and drama, but at the end of the day, it's something that is always going to draw me back to it, because there is nothing else that gives me the ability to put out things that I am passionate about to an audience. And the reason that I love this channel and this platform is not only do I get to put things on your guys' radar, but I get to make these conversations and make you guys think about the things that you listen to, or put some creative ideas into your guys' heads so you can take it away and talk in your own vein and talk about how you feel about it. I've never said that my opinion is the gospel. I can only say how I feel about something and then pass the microphone to you guys, because I've always called this place the review family. I see it as a community, and not in the parasocial relationship type of way. I genuinely just fucking care about this channel and the people that support me, because they've not only given me that outlet of escapism, but they have really sung their own songs to that kid who was introverted, who could never get anyone on his side or any friends that really gave a shit about what he did or why. And he was not only able to build a platform up, growing into being one of the larger channels in a niche that literally brought me up, is not only poetic, but something I'm incredibly appreciative and grateful for. Because at the end of the day, I'm sitting beside these people and I'm collaborating with these people that I looked up to growing up and that shaped me into who I am, and that is something I am eternally just in debt to these people for. And I have no doubt that if I had no one watching, I would probably still be doing what I'm doing now. The only difference is now I have people listening, I have people watching, and so not only am I able to support myself and help support myself with money because of it, I'm also able to have people listening and make content that I am personally proud of. It's not pressuring. If anything, it's liberating, because I finally feel free and I get to say, like, I made it in the way that I wanted. Let's build on it and let's make this kingdom as large as it can get. And to anyone that wants to get into YouTube, the only thing that I can say is just do it. You're probably not going to make the content that you enjoy or that you're going to end up making by the end of it. And if you end up cringing or looking back in a non-positive way, fuck it. Do it anyway. You're not going to start unless you just begin. And if you don't put that effort in to try, you're just going to keep saying, well, no one's going to care, no one's going to watch. You know what? You're fucking right. No one is. Do it for you, and then the rest will follow if you really put your heart and soul into it. Because there is an audience out there for you. There are people that will respect what you do. And at the end of the day, if you're getting gratification out of it, and if it is a form of escapism for you, that is literally all that matters. Because I am proof that someone that comes from literally nothing in terms of what I started this channel with, and in a small niche that is very insulated, very difficult to grow in, and very homogenous in how people produce content, it shows that not only do I not fit the mold of anything that this niche really represents, I transcended that with the passion that I have to make content that I am proud of, that I enjoy, to share it with people that hopefully will enjoy it too. And I was at peace if no one ever did. But that's why I do this. That's why I love this platform. What are your opinions on this, though, both for YouTubers and YouTuber watchers? Let me know down in the comment section below. I can't wait to hear it. Thank you all for all you have given me. Be sure to like this video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to join the review family today, and smash that notification bell to be notified of my future uploads. You know who it is. My name is Jay Morrison. I'm signing off saying farewell.